Well, I'm a little late, but that's okay. Sorry. How little girl had to finish eating. She did not care if I had a live Q&A. So let's go over my voice. Still getting over a cold. But well, I lost my voice last night. Actually, I sounded fine yesterday, and then last night I started losing my voice. Really weird. Let's get over some of these questions. Someone says they can't wait to see the RPG content going up. I think the first article hit today on EU.com, the expandinguniverse.com. Yeah, I'm very excited for Seth. I did have a lot of people respond to my request for new new content. So we're going to be seeing a lot more, hopefully. I'm excited. Jenna Acolyte, you have said you wish more Lando content was in the EU. Do you think that characters from Lando trilogy like Vufi Ra should have had more appearances? Well, no, because they kind of finished off his story. I love Vufi Ra, obviously, but they finished his story, so I don't think he needs any more tales, though I love that droid. Maki Kishu Zero says, Kishi Zero, Matt, do you know anything about the Lego Bionicle? No, I don't. Besides what it is, I don't. Someone says, please talk episode 9 on Prince of the Universe. Probably so. Bruce can't wait to talk about Rise of Skywalker. So we'll probably talk about it in the next podcast. Quality Autism. Who says Happy New Year? Happy New Year, sir. His questions. If Dawn of the Jedi era continued, which authors would you like to see write more books in that era? Besides my favorite, Tim Lebbin. Well, maybe Drew Karpyshyn. I would love to see John Ostrander, who is a comic book writer, write a novel. I think he's a good comic book writer. I'd give him a shot at being a writer. Plus, he did the comic book series for that one. Drew Karpyshyn, because he deals with Old Republic stuff. I almost said James Luceno, but I'd be accepting of seeing, I'd love to see Brandon Sanderson write an EU novel. Brandon Sanderson wrote a couple, he writes some fantasy, but I'd love to see him write one. Maybe Dawn of the Jedi would be for him too. So your second question, if L. Neil Smith would have written more Star Wars books, would you have liked to, what would you have liked to get from him? More Lando. To be honest, more Lando. That's what I was really wanting. All right. Michael's questions here. First one, how do I feel about the National Strategic Missile Defense Agency Space Force program establishing during the new year of 2020? Don't know anything about it. It's good to tell you. You said, tell us more about George Lucas's latest development in Lucasfilm Art and Science Museum. I don't know anything. I don't know any updates about that either. I don't keep updated on that kind of stuff. Sorry. Do you think Marvel will create more Star Wars Legends comic books if they're required? Oh, definitely. They'd be happy to. If you saw the interview I did with Matthew Rosenberg, you see that they were very happy to do that one, and they'd be happy to do even more if they had the chance. Put my backwards hat on straight. Let us know more about your Star Wars Dark Resurrection fan film. Oh, about the Star Wars Dark Resurrection fan film. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Who are my favorite Mandalorian characters from the expanded universe or Clone Wars? I don't know. I really don't have that many. I mean, I like Jodo Cast, the idea of him from West End Games, but that was about it. I wasn't big. I mean, Mandalorians are cool, but they're not my thing. They're not the it thing for me. All right, let's see. Which stories and characters do you like the most in the Jedi Apprentice series? Well, obviously Kip Durham, but let me give another answer. Streen is a fantastic character. I love Streen. I wish there was more stories involving Streen as well. He was the hermit. He was really good. Will you be looking forward to a Knights of the Old Republic TV series in production from the Game of Thrones crew members? No, nothing new canon. Do you know Lucasfilm has any ideas for Darth Revan? No, I have no idea about this series. I'm sorry. Do you really like Mara Jade Skywalker being part of the female leaders in the expanded universe, or do you prefer other expanded universe female leading characters from Legacy and Force of the Jedi? I have no problem with Mara Jade. I like her. There's a lot of other good female characters too, though. I like Winter. She's very underutilized, but she's really fun. I like Dala as a villain. I think she's fantastic. Asard was good too. There's just a lot of good, villains and heroes from the expanded universe that had women in it. Lastly, what are your thoughts for the year 2010? The time capsule means that how much pop culture, entertainment, economic growth also means to you. What are my thoughts of the last decade? I don't know. We were doing that over dinner last night. We're thinking, okay, it's a new decade. Even my brother lives in New York. He said, "Happy New Year." I said, I always say, dude, you're living in the future, but instead of a year ahead of me, you're a decade ahead of me. And I don't know, man. I don't know. That was a hard question. We were thinking about all the things we've done in a decade. So that was really crazy. All right. Let's see here. Rob D just woke up. Hello, Josh. Josh, I'm sorry. We've been meaning to chat, Josh, but the girls have just got me wall-to-wall busy. Any new board games for Christmas, Spencer? My mom got me a board game that I already had. She didn't check with me. That's okay, though. Geeks Addict, in the year 2525, will mankind still be alive? No, but they'll still be making Star Wars films. Just for robots. Let's see. I have looked at Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archives things. I've looked at a lot of stuff from Brandon Sanderson. The only thing I've read from him is the Wheel of Time series that he finished off for Robert Jordan after his passing. I thought he did a fantastic job, and I looked up other stuff with him. But since then, haven't had time to, I haven't made time to read his books. Right now, I'm currently rereading through the Wheel of Time, which is why I just thought about him. And he is, you're right, Captain Wilhelm. He has a lot of projects. He's a really cool guy. I've talked to him before. I met him at I think Dragon Con. He's a really cool guy. Oh, Zim the Despot novel or comic book. Yeah, but Jason Fry would have to be a part of that, since he's part of the lore there. All right, let's get this. Mistborn trilogy I've heard was good too. Oh, well, hold on. Jedi Acolyte, always Kevin Anderson, right? Always Kevin Anderson. I'd pick him every time. He's one of my favorite authors. So yeah, definitely on that. Thoughts on the concept of death of the author? Don't know anything about that one. Sorry. All right, let's do this. Michael, what old board games are you hoping to acquire this year? Michael, we did a live stream. Me, Norm from the Board Game Museum, and Luke from Down from the Attic, where we talked about vintage board games we'd like to have. Mine right now, it's going to be tough because I'm paying for daycare now, and there's a lot of costs with the girls. So I mean, it really starts hitting next week, even though it did start hitting this month. This paycheck took a big hit. So I'm going to have to, I have pre-orders out, Kickstarters out, and I'm going to be very stingy on when I get a game. A vintage game may not happen unless I get some eBay gift cards for Christmas this year. Just because I just got to watch what money I spend on board games right now. Having twin girls, that does it for you. But I have plenty of board games right now to do reviews, I think, for the next 3 months. And when the Kickstarters come in, I'll have some extra stuff too. So I'll still have stuff for the channel coming in. But no, I won't be getting as much this year, I would assume, since now I got extra expense. Let's see. What did I want? The Voodoo game with the skull. I can't remember. Mystic Skull was one that was nice. The Ice Cube game, which I'll never get now because it costs way too much, but that looks like a fun game. Maybe This Game Is Bonkers if I find it at a flea market. That seems like a fun one. Hawaiian Punch is very cheap to get, so that one may be one. I can't remember. I don't have my list up right now, but I used to, excuse me, I used to have let me see if I can find the list, because I have the list for the podcast, but then I didn't. I may have kept it. I'm looking for it. Sometimes I keep those type of lists because I mean that's my buy list. But I'm trying to look through some of my stuff here. I know there's a Camelot game. I can't remember the name of it, but I thought that was interesting. Come on, Matt. There it is. There it is. Let me open this up. Fun City, which seems okay. That's pretty cheap. Game Is Bonkers. Park and Shop, which more interested in the history of that game. The game looks kind of straight roll and move, but maybe. Hawaiian Punch I mentioned. Treasures and Trapdoors is a cool looking game. Luke from Down from the Attic reviewed that one. Dash and Dine is another one from Waddington that looks interesting. Oh, Lost Valley of the Dinosaurs looks amazing. I'd love to have that one. Talked about Ice Cube. Legend of Camelot. That's another one that looks interesting. Has nice pieces. And Mystic Skull. There you go. Found that list. Do you hope we can get? Oh wait, what happened? Do you hope we can get more Legends books this year? I'm sorry, I lost my spot. So hopefully the billboards will shake things up. We hear news of more Legends. I hope that's it. Now, Quality Autism says I missed his third question, so let me go back and see. Can you please come to Gen Con this year? I'd love to. I'm not. I will be going to BGG Spring Con in Dallas. I will be going. I did get tickets. I kind of regret it because I don't really need to spend the money, but I already bought tickets. I couldn't wait. I missed last year and I hated it. I love Gen Con, and maybe when the girls are older, I'll go back. But right now, it's just not feasible. I do enjoy Gen Con, though. That was a lot of fun. Gen Con was a lot of fun. Hold on. Let me go back to your question. Quality. See if I can find it again. I'm sorry. I missed the third question he said. Oh, I did. Do you think comic titles, for example, the 2 Legacy series, should have gotten a tie-in novel like Dawn of the Jedi and Knights Errant did? Yes. I always prefer novels over comic books. So yes, I do. Thank you for reminding me. I missed that. Sorry about that. Oh, death of an author refers to an author or artist loses all authority over their creations after it's finished. I don't know. I don't know that much about it to speak on it, so I'm sorry. Oh, Saba Sabatine, great female character. You are correct. Would I be concerned, Geeks Addict says, if Lucasfilm announced Legends timeline would continue? No, and I'll tell you why Friday. That was one of our topics of discussion for a more civilized age, which Matthew couldn't be a part of. because he likes Rise of Skywalker. I'm kidding. He was traveling with family, and I had to get it done. I'm glad I did, because if I did it now, it'd sound awful. Do you think we can chat before January 6th? Yeah, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm so unreliable. Just hang in there on Skype. I want to. It just depends. I'm gonna try though, brother. I am. I'm so sorry though. The girls just, like I said, I was ready to go, and Meridian started crying, and Piper woke up, and so I had to take care of them first. So can't stay on a schedule with little girls. They had a fun time for New Year's though. We went over to my mom and dad's. They slept for a little bit, but they love being around people. They love being around people. Well, man, every time I do that, every time I scroll down, it kicks me down. Michael asked me about the Dinogenics Kickstarter for the expansion. I didn't know about this. Dinogenics, if you don't know, it was the kind of rival for Dinosaur Island. I almost got Dinogenics, but decided last minute to switch it to Dino Island. I'm happy with Dino Island. I haven't checked out it, Michael. I probably won't get it. I haven't heard much about Dinogenics, but I haven't looked into it that much. Do you have it? Do you like it? And I'll check out the expansion. I'll look and see. Any Star Wars games I bought this year? No, didn't buy any Star Wars board games. None of the. That's what someone said on my top 100. They said no Star Wars board games. I was like, yeah, the newer stuff, the newer games just don't interest me. You know, I can be a Star Wars fan and not have a Star Wars board game. I have some vintage game. I mean, Queen's Gambit's awesome. Awesome. Epic Duels is pretty good too. So I have fun playing those. Oh, I predicted the ending of episode 9 in my Force Awakens EU defense video. Did I really? That's funny. It's kind of easy. Remember when I told everyone back when Disney bought or announced that they were doing episode 7, and I called it. I said, well, Han Solo's going to die. I called it right then and there. When they said Harrison Ford's coming back, I went, okay, well, he's obviously going to die. I knew it. There we go. Prediction guy. I also predicted on Prince of the Universe. Bruce and I were talking about this. How I said Force Awakens is going to break back way back in the day. Force Awakens will break box office records. Last Jedi will make a lot of money, but not as much as Force Awakens. Well, I didn't say long. I said episode 8. And then I said episode 9 will make less money than all of them, but still make big money. And I've been right. I mean, but that's kind of easy guess, right? That they get less popular as they came out. Even though that's not how the original trilogy went, right? First one made the most. Second one, Empire didn't make as much as Jedi. Jedi made more. So you would think that Rise of Skywalker, I think Revenge of the Sith made more than Attack of the Clones, right? You would think Rise of Skywalker should make more, but I said it wouldn't. And I was right, or so far. Any Halo or Star Trek or Marvel board games you've purchased? No Halo board games. Don't even know if there's a Halo board game. Haven't looked at that. Star Trek, I only have my one vintage game, which I love, but it's hard to play with because no one else wants to play with me. Marvel board games, no. I thought about getting Marvel Heroes. It's an older game. I came this close to purchasing it, but the rule book is so awful. It's so awful. We tried to play it at Gen Con one year, and it was so awful. After an hour of trying to make sense of it, we just shelved it and went and got a different game. It looks beautiful, all the miniatures in it, but it's just the rule book is one of the worst rule books ever designed. Oh yeah, I did say that. Kylo Ren would get redeemed and die fighting his master with Rey. Yeah, called it. Well, because I mean, Return of the Jedi, right? I knew JJ was going to go for that. I bet you anything if JJ would have done Last Jedi, a Porg would have been frozen in carbonite right as he would have said, when Rey says, I love you, the Porg would have gone, I know, and Porg, right before he would have gotten frozen. That's what would have happened if JJ had done Last Jedi. Someone should do that. If JJ had done Last Jedi, how would it have followed beat for beat Empire? That'd be funny to think about. How do I rate the, Andrew says, how do I rate the radio dramas by Brian Daly? I think they're fantastic. I'm glad they came out with, I was around when they were coming out with the Return of the Jedi one. Remember, they did Star Wars and Empire, but not Jedi. And I think Billy D. Williams and Mark Hamill came back for that, as well as Anthony Daniels, who had done them all. But they were great. In fact, there's a joke in A New Hope radio drama that I love. Hans here talking about how he got his payment. The Death Star's coming to Yavin, and he's skipping town. He's getting out of here. And he goes, well, General, blah, 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 blah. And General Dodonna goes, I'm sorry, Captain Solo, I don't quite follow you. And then Han Solo says, if you did, you'd live a lot longer. And I was like, that's funny. Like, you need to get out of here. You guys are going to die. I was like, that was a funny line. That should have been in the movie. That was in the radio drama. But the radio dramas are done really, really well. Hello, Jeremy from Canada. Well, I don't feel bad. I started losing my voice last night, and it's still there. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, but I really feel fine. Honestly, I'm going to go work out after this. So if I'm fine enough to work out, I'm not sick. I just lost my voice, and I have no tea. I didn't get any tea at the store, and so I'm out of tea. And this is a tragedy, because if I was drinking tea, I think I'd be a lot better. I will get some after I go work out, though. Earl Grey, hot. Any movies I want to see in 2020? Rob D. We're going to do a Saturday morning Samoflange on that. Me and Jeremy from Stupid Changelog Productions. It's going to come out. Where's my new calendar? Looking at my old calendar here. Probably on the 18th. This coming Saturday, we're going to talk about my top 5 movies of 2019. And then on the next podcast, we're going to talk about my most anticipated movies for 2020. Magister Damask, something's going on with YouTube's playlist. I have added those, but they're being shuffled and for some reason for weeks I could not add any videos onto my playlist. It's been really weird right now. But I don't know. Something's going on with YouTube right now. I sent an email off to them, but I can't update any of my playlists right now. How many YouTube videos do I need to create in order to be a guest on a more civilized age? That's a lot of fun. That's a fun show. The reason I don't switch up hosts, I try not to switch up host on that, is because it's hard enough getting the 4 of us to the table. Like I said, this time with Chris having twins, Geeks Attic having a rivalry with Ryan Kennel. I'm kidding. But no, with everyone traveling over the holidays, it was really hard to get everyone together. And it's really hard just to get new people too, because like, okay, when can I come? Well, I got this schedule and I got this schedule. And I would eventually, we'd probably like to have different people on there. I may do something else, but I like the people I have on there now. But having other people on would be fun. I'm not opposed to bringing anyone on when it's a nightcap, because nightcap's kind of loosey-goosey. We talk about anything too. Usually ends up being Star Wars Expanded Universe stuff, but that's okay. But that one I'm more susceptible to bringing anyone on. But yeah, More Civilized Age is a lot of fun to do. A lot of fun. Oh, Michael, we do not have snow here in Louisiana. The only time I see snow is in the movies, my friend. Tahiri is a great female character. You are right on that. Where do I place Filoni's Clone Wars in the timeline? Well, I mean, the thing is, I did Filoni's Clone Wars review separate because I didn't want to go episode through episode. It is sprinkled in through the Clone Wars material, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to talk about one episode of a show that I didn't really like that much. And if it's an episode I hated, I mean, most of those episodes, like, what you could explain in one line. Ahsoka joins, resistance on a planet, falls in love with a kid, and then moves on with her life. And to be honest, it's that interesting too. There's nothing more interesting to say about it. So I didn't feel like doing that, so I did a separate Filoni Clone Wars. But I think Joe on StarWarsTimeline.net, I think he sprinkled all the episodes into his timeline. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did that. So maybe we'll go check it out. Michael says, Dinogenics is amazing. Come to Gen Con and we can play. Michael, I would love to, brother. I would absolutely love to play with you, man. If I ever go back. It's funny. There's a group that goes every other year to Gen Con. And I became an official. They're all from Canada. But I hooked up with them from day one when I first went to Gen Con. And I became an official member of their group. And they weren't kidding. Every 2 years, they will call me up. They'll text me up and say, hey, man, we're going to Gen Con. Are you in? Do we need to get you a hotel room? Are you coming? I mean, I am still part of their group. And in fact, for the past 4 years, they've been contacting me. And they only contact me every other year. Every other year is when I hear from them. I love those guys to death. I love those guys to death. Maybe if the missus lets me go. The kids have got to be grown and potty trained, manageable for the missus. But I would love to go back. I do enjoy Gen Con. I'd love to go back. And I'll have to check out Dinogenics now. What about Star Wars Risk 2-player version? I haven't played it. I hear it's like Queen's Gambit Light. So people who've never played Queen's Gambit are going to like it. If you've played Queen's Gambit, you're going to hate it. My buddy Josh just came in for the holidays, and we play. He's the guy that found me Raja the Ganges. He's the reason I play Raja the Ganges. And he comes in, we play some games. He looked at my top 100. He said, dude, when's your top 10 coming out? Because it was the day before. He's like, because I want to know your top 10 before I ask what games we could bring to the table. And he saw my top 10, and he immediately made the list of games he wanted to play. We played a few games, had a great time, and he goes, next time I come, I need to play Queen's Gambit. I said, okay, that's an all-day thing, though, but it's fun. So next time we're playing Queen's Gambit together. He said, should I get Star Wars Risk? I went, sure, if you haven't, but once you play Queen's Gambit, you'll hate Star Wars Risk. Star Wars Risk, I'm sure, is a fine game, though. Zan is very interesting, too. The story is a great female character. You guys are correct on all this. There is a ton of great female characters. A ton of great female characters I love. Wow, 8-year-old now hooked on Star Wars. That's great. Star Wars Life. Okay, hold on. Come on. All right. Whoa, I'm so every time I think I'm caught up. So behind. Ventress, Jaina, all good. It's kind of scary how Matt can actually predict the future. It's not that hard. Josh, you look at the patterns out there, and it's not hard. It was not hard for me to predict that Han Solo was going to die because Harrison Ford does not want to do the character. And in fact, the deal, I even mentioned the deal was made that he would come back only if they would do Indiana Jones because he wants to do more Indiana Jones. And that's why Indiana Jones is in development. It's still not coming out yet because they're having trouble working on a script as far as I know. But that's the only reason he came back. And You knew that from past interviews of Harrison Ford. So if they brought him back, you knew Harrison Ford was going to say, okay, I'll come back, but you better kill me off. I don't want to do any more of these. My favorite video clip from last year was Solo was coming out. Well, maybe it was 2 years ago. Solo was coming out in theaters. And they asked Harrison Ford, are you excited to see the Solo prequel movie? He went, no. And they cut to a commercial. They're like, oh. It was really funny. He didn't care about Star Wars. Rob D, do you ever hope one day to design your own board game? I'd love to, Rob, but I just don't think I'm that smart. I'm working on it, brother. I'm working on one. It's just hard not to copy another game that you already love, hard to make something unique, and you really got to work on it. So, but there's a game in mind I'd love to do. I just don't know if I have the mental capacity to pull it off. I've heard of the Elder Scrolls series and Skyrim. Who is it? CJ from Saturday Morning Sam Flange tells me about it all the time. He's a big Elder Scrolls fan. Would I want to create my own board game or purchase more superheroes or sci-fi content? I'd love to create my own board game. That'd be fun. Any New Year's resolutions, Michael, on a more civilized age? That's the bonus question. That's coming out Friday. I'm doing a board game review. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's a Queen game. I think it is. I'm looking at it. I think it's a Queen game I got. So, reviewing a Queen game tomorrow. I won't say what. It's not a new one. Andrew, I think Mark Hamill was in the Return of the Jedi radio, wasn't he? Radio dramatization. I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check myself though. I could be wrong. I know Anthony Daniels was. I want to say Billy D. Williams was. Hey, Mark Hamill. Jedi radio drama. I want to say Mark Hamill was. But I could be wrong. Let's see. Looking it over here. Well, I don't see the... Hold on. It's not helping me. Hold on. Someone in the chat's probably already answered this by now. The Jedi radio. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Someone in the chat's going to have to answer it for me. Because I'm trying to find it. But I can't find it. Can't find the answer. I thought he was. But anyway. Something I like doing during leisure, play board games. Read a book. Love reading too. Reading through the Wheel of Time. Watch Magnum PI season 6. It's fantastic. He just stopped some cattle ranchers in Hawaii. Season 6, episode 8. I'm on episode 9 now. Happy New Year, Chris. Chris got new twins. He knows what I'm talking about. We're part of the Twin Girls, Dads of Twin Girls Club. I hope everything's going well, Chris. I haven't read the Witcher series. People keep asking me that. Maybe I should check it out. Have I seen Claws on Netflix? No, I have not. Maybe I should check it out. Ryan probably Geeks Addict Ryan probably has seen Rise of Skywalker way more times. I hear he turns it on at night to fall asleep to it. He loves it so much. Like when he wakes up the next morning, you know, it's just on repeat. There's candy corn in his bed, the unfinished candy corn he hasn't eaten yet. That's what I hear happens. Tell me what I did for the Star Wars Holiday Special Edition. Nothing. No involvement for that one. How do I feel about Legend Stories made into an animated series for Disney Plus? There's a New Jedi Order rumor that Ryan Kennel reported on. Is it going to be Legends or is it going to be canon? I think it's going to be canon, right? I don't think it's going to be Legends. I mean, if it is, I'd be interested. I saw the video. It's just right now during the holidays, I'm behind 2 weeks actually on my podcast that I listen to and a lot of videos. Just because the holidays have been so busy for me. But I did see it, the video. I saw the title. I just haven't checked it out yet. Josh says Ahsoka is annoying. Completely agree. Official Ray Blitz says, I'm rewatching Clone Wars to determine which episodes can still fit within Legends. All of them. According to Fantasy Flight, all of them. They're Imperial propaganda anyway. Ahsoka helps younglings pretty much every Ahsoka episode. It's pretty funny. Comp Nor propaganda. There you go, Jedi Acolyte. When I read that quote, I remember I checked with Dylan, I want to say Brian, and a few others. I said, look, I want to interpret it this way, but that's because I'm me. Is this what they're saying? Do you think this is true? And I think Dylan was with me when I went and asked Fantasy Flight at Gen Con that year. And they very coyly responded. It was either Dylan was with me or Jeremy was with me from Stupid Chainsaw Productions. And I went and asked Fantasy Flight, I said, look, on y'all's latest source book, you said this. Is this a retcon to fit Clone Wars within the expanded universe? They went, it could definitely be interpreted that way. And that was their response. Like, yeah, we're not the people who can officially say that, but you can interpret that way. We're not the story group, but yeah, that's what it felt like to me. And I can't remember if it was Dylan or Jeremy, but that was the answer they gave me. Spencer, I'd love to play games with you. I actually saw Spencer at Gen Con. That's the first time we ever met. And I asked Spencer if he wanted to play games. He said no. I said, were you going to be here tomorrow? He said, no. I said, can we hang out? He went, no. I'm kidding. It's fun meeting Spencer. I would love to go to Gen Con. I would. The kids are so young, I can't do that to the missus. And I don't think she would want to go to Indianapolis. My buddy Josh, who came down here this past week, he lives in Indianapolis. He'd love to see me too. I could probably stay with him. He goes to Gen Con too. All right. Oh my goodness, I am so far behind. Where are we on time? We're good on time. All right. Ahsoka is very annoying. Josh, I agree with you. The great episodes are the ones that focus on the clones. I agree with you. Those are great episodes too. Nomi Sunrider. Y'all keep coming up with great female characters. How do I feel about Indiana Jones 5? George Lucas will not be writing the script. I think it'll be good. I trust Harrison Ford and gang to get it right this time. And I applaud it because I don't want the series to end with Crystal Skull. It's like Die Hard 6. We have to have a Die Hard 6 because Die Hard 5 was awful. But I'm afraid that Bruce Willis has given up acting. My opinion on trading games like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon, they're very popular. Not for me, but they're popular. My little nephew is living the dream. My little nephew plays board games with me. He works at the board game store here in town. It's my dream job. They mainly sell, they get by on Warhammer and Magic and the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon cards. They sell the cards and they sell Warhammer. Board games is a small part of their business, but they do sell it. And I've been by there a couple of times, and I played one game, Catch the Moon there, which was all right. And my friend Luke from Down from the Attic wants me to try. I've already played it, but he wants me to try it again. Colt Express. I didn't really like Colt Express when I played it, but he asked me to give it a second shot. Colt Express there's an open demo copy there for play. And I guess I just need to go over there one Saturday and visit my nephew because he gets paid to play board games. He shows people board games. So maybe we'll play Colt Express. Evan's streaming right now too. My arch nemesis. I bet he has everyone on his stream except for me. Nerd House says, "Hi, Matt." Hi, Nerd House. When was the last time I played a West End game, Star Wars RPG? Tony, I've never played them. I have them all, right? I mean, you can see them over here. There they are right there. I've just never played them. My buddy Benjamin, who's on Saturday Morning Salmon Flange, he was a game master for West End Games Adventures back in the day. He did them at his house, and he always invited me in, and I never participated I wasn't into role-playing games back then. Now I want to. We were going to start an adventure, an RPG adventure. He was going to help me with it, but then he moved away to Texas. Eventually, yes, I would love to do one. I would love to do one. Okay, Mark Hamill was on the radio drama. I thought so. It was the Return of the Jedi radio dramatization was the last thing Brian Daley worked on before he died. I so regret not getting his autograph, but I was too young back then. Mid '90s. I was a teenager. I didn't know. But man, that was a miss because I love his Han Solo trilogy. It was fantastic. Haven't watched The Witcher on Netflix. I've played Machikoro, but I gave it away because Black Fleet does it better. I like the theme of Black Fleet. Black Fleet is a pirate game, and it has the Machikoro, unlocking one ability after the next. And I had my copy with all the expansions for Machikoro, played it all the time. My wife did not like the game, even though she won. And eventually just gave it away because it wasn't getting played. Some of my games I give away. Like this year, I'm giving away just a handful of games to one of my guys in my game group. A game I got for Christmas, since I have two of them. A game I found I found Sagrada for $1.60 at a what's it called? A surplus warehouse. They discount everything. They just get the old toys and stuff like that, and then just liquidation store had Sagrada brand new $1.60. I already have Sagrada, but I had to pick it up for that price. I'm gonna give it to my buddy. Plus another game I think you'll like, and another game that I don't like that maybe he will. But we always do that. He always gets me some kind of game, and I give him some of mine. Kind of like a swap. What we're currently watching right now, films. Not many films. We watched a terrible film, Marriage Our Marriage. I can't remember. It stars Black Widow and Kylo Ren. It's horrible. Such a terrible movie. My sister recommended it, and we're like, what? I think my sister recommended a different movie, and my parents just couldn't remember the name of it, and they got that one, and we all watched it. It was terrible. Horrible movie. Oh, Josh is reading New Jedi Order. Yeah, it is amazing. Great. Dark Journey, good book, too. Oh, bye, Geeks Addict. Probably missed him already. He's a good guy. Check him out. Even though he and Ryan hate each other. Is the Star Wars Holiday Special Edition a real thing? Well, no. I think it's jokingly called that when someone put it on DVD. John Lithgow was in the radio dramatization. That's interesting. Kyle Katarn versus Dooku. Ooh, that's a great match. Let's go with Kyle Katarn. That's a great match, though. I like that. Oh, my goodness. So far behind again. What sort of versus series would like to discuss? I don't know. I don't do versus series. A lot of other channels do, but I don't. Cornhorn or Kip Duran? Kip Duran all the way. I'm a Kip Duran fan. Have I read Warrior Cat series yet? No, sorry. I am just reading Wheel of Time right now. That's going to take up a lot of my time this year. They're good. It's just, I'm just having a hard time making the time because the girls will cry and scream and I can't concentrate. Crystal Skull never happened. Oh, I love multimedia projects by Lucasfilm. They don't do them anymore because they don't have the interest, I guess. But I loved it every time they did them. Ooh, Spencer's doing an RPG first time this Saturday. Good luck, man. Let me know how it goes. Favorite New Jedi Order Jedi? New Jedi Order. Well, Kip Duran was in the New Jedi Order. I mean, introduced Sabatine, probably. Star Wars Detours. It was a failed comic series. I'm glad that one didn't make it because it was just supposed to be a joke series. I was like, a comedy series? That's all we're getting? I don't want to see that. Yeah, I had no desire to see Detours. I was glad that it got canceled. That didn't hurt my feelings at all when they announced that. Ganner is a good one. Haven't seen any of Adam Driver's Star Wars films. No. Oh, where'd he go? Okay. Did I know that Kevin Feige and Jon Favreau played Star Wars RPGs? Wow. Westing Games was. No, I did not know that. That's interesting. It's interesting to know how many people did back in the day. That's how Pablo got into the business, was through Westing Games. Geeksax makes some good videos. Yes, he made a good one on Crystal Star. He did a good one on Chuck Wendig's third novel, too. I remember laughing at that one, too. What about Saboteur 1 and 2? Ever played that? No. I don't get to play MB. I don't get to play that many video games. Are those video games, or are you talking about the board? I haven't played the board game either. Which Star Wars Expanded Universe character is really hot? Oh, I don't know. A Zeltron? I don't know. Worth Skitter. That's a good one. I haven't thought about him in a while. Have I seen The Mandalorian? No, I don't watch any of the new canon stuff. Just not for me. I'm slowly catching up with the comments. Yes, I am. Oh, I did catch up. Hooray! Huzzah! I caught up. Ah, yes, feels good. I didn't realize that. A lot of comments going on, not many questions. All right, awesome. Ooh, what do I do now? Oh, there it is. Here's my next question. Favorite Disney character? As a kid, I loved Peter Pan. To be honest, animated movie is going to be Emperor's New Groove. Oh, that's one thing I'm watching on Disney Plus. When I have the time for breakfast or something, I'll watch an Emperor's New School, which was the TV show. Not that good. It's sad because there's a lot of missed opportunities in that TV show. They could have been great. But I always wanted to see it when it came out. I was like, oh, Emperor's, because I loved Emperor's New Groove. So I'm still watching it. It's just kind of sad that everyone decided to return for that TV series. Even John Goodman for season 2 came back, except for David Spade. I'm like, why not? David Spade had nothing else going on. He should have at least done the TV show. Probably would have been better. I don't know. Whoa, look out. I'm already behind like that. Oh, yeah, now you have to bombard me with comments. Thank you for that. Did you know Eclipse actress is really hot? Uh-huh. I believe Kip Misses understood. Haven't seen Lion Guard. No, I know you're a big fan. Haven't seen it, though. I've seen some of the old cartoons, Mind Flayer on Disney Plus. I think they're fun. Some of the old movies, Absent Minded Professor I watched. That was fun. Apple Dumpling Gang 1 and 2. Even though the first one's good, the second one is not as good. Luke killed millions on the Death Star, but no one gives him any crap for that. That's right. That's right. Preach. Kip Durden got it bad rap. Will my Crystal Star review be as amazing as my Jedi Prince reviews? We can only hope. I'm loving going through Jedi Prince. I really am. I had so much fun. So much fun. If you can't already tell, I'm having so much fun with that. Because, to be honest, I grew up reading those at the same time. I was so starved for EU that those are the only books that were out with Timothy Zahn's trilogy. And so I read those too and loved those just as much because I wanted anything Star Wars back then. I haven't seen Gargoyles. I hear it's great, though. My buddy loves Gargoyles. Yeah, Mind Flayer. I made a joke with Ryan a long time ago. I kept asking what was on Disney Plus, even though I knew none of that stuff was. And I think that is a missed opportunity not to have the Droids and Ewoks cartoons because you would have been exclusive content that's not even out on DVD that you can't find anywhere else. Would have been great. Or Totosi's Clone Wars, which I think would have been fun too. It's just weird. They didn't put any of that on there. How canon was Jedi Prince series? I'll talk about that when I get to the last book. Favorite kind of pet? I don't have pets. Not a pet person. Mind Flayer got the Ewok movies on DVD for Christmas. Hey, winning. There you go. I love those Ewok movies. I think they're I grew up watching those. My dad recorded them when they came on TV, and we had them on our old Betamax, and we'd pop in those. I think they were on the same Betamax because Dad got the first one, then Dad recorded the second one on it too. And we would just pop that VHS or Beta thing in, and we'd play and we'd watch those Ewok movies all the time. Probably more than we watched the trilogy. But we used to watch the Ewok movies all the time. Loved them. Loved them back in the day. So those are a lot of fun. I was able to get a burned copy of the Ewoks series on DVD and Droids on DVD or VCD back in the day. I don't think my Xbox will play that. They fine-tune the Xboxes not to play pirated CDs or something. So I don't have an outlet to play them anymore. I have the entire collection of Mystery Science Theater 3000, even their Canadian run back before they got picked up by Comedy Central. But I have nothing that can play it now, unless it plays on my laptop here. That's probably what it'll play on. And I've never gotten to watch through them all either. Oh man, I hear little girls screaming, so I'm gonna have to have a hard cutoff here in an hour. Let's see. Oh my goodness, got behind the podcast. I got behind in the comments just like that. Do I like anime? Not really. I'm not against it. I just don't make the time to watch it. What do I think your opinion on Star by Star is? You love it. It's the best one of the series. I know how you feel. Which creatures from the Star Wars Expanded Universe are your favorite? Oh, Michael, great question. I have no idea. I just read The Wildlife of Star Wars. It's fun. It's a fun read. It's not necessary. It was okay to read. They just handled the main planets. But my biggest complaint is they didn't spend much time on Endor. Endor has tons of animals. They spent way more time on Naboo and maybe this thing came out during episode. I mean, obviously episode 1 had been out. But maybe it was more of an episode 1 book, it felt like, because they spent tons of time on Naboo and hardly any time on Endor. I was like, meh. It was okay, though. The art is really nice if you want to get it. Yep, Rob, I am someone who had a Betamax when my family did. Thank you, Michael. It's nice to be here on the live stream. Yes, I heard the second Ewok movie did get a theatrical release. In fact, I want to say both of them did. It got a short releases overseas. That's why the first one was called An Ewok Adventure. And then when it came out in video, they called it Caravan of Courage. But in the theater overseas, it was called Ewok Adventure. That's really cool that they got released. Man, if it would have been released in the U.S., I think it would have made tons of money. The reviewers would have hated it, but it would have gotten tons of money. Probably would have had, if they would have put more effort into it, it would have been a great movie. There's some great movies, too. To be fair, Luke never killed any innocents in Dark Empire. I only have Disney Plus, Mind Flayer, because I have Verizon, and they gave me a year of it free. After the year, I'm going to cancel. In fact, after Emperor's New School, I want to watch Gordon Ramsay's National Geographic show, and then I'm done. I can't remember what it's called. But that's it for me. What planets weren't explored in the EU? I have no idea. The ones we don't know about. The ones in the unknown regions, of course. Or wild space. The Vong are cool, that's correct. Well, Jedi Acolyte, I hear Gargoyles is well worth it. CJ Sings praises that show. It was supposed to be Disney's answer to the Batman animated series. I don't think it ended, though, did it? I don't think Gargoyles ended, though. It had a storyline, but didn't end. I would love to see a second Lando trilogy. I think that'd be great. What I think about the Bounty Hunters Wars trilogy, Andrew, I did a review on these books. I thought they were fine. They're forgotten a lot about. You can check out my review if you want to see a little bit more. It was a good idea. It just could have been way more than what it ended up being. It wasn't bad, though. I hear old school Gordon Ramsay. I've seen some old school Gordon Ramsay. He's funny. I liked his Kitchen Nightmares show. I watched that. And watched that when I was with the girls on paternity leave. And that's when I fell in love with Gordon Ramsay. So I don't watch all his stuff. I know he has Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that. But this National Geographic show looks interesting, so I'll watch it. Oh, you're on book 2 of the Bounty Hunter Wars. Okay, cool. I did hear Brandon Ruth return to Superman for Crisis on Infinite Earth. Unfortunately, I didn't really care about Superman Returns, but I think that's cool. I think that's cool they're doing it, though. Didn't Tom Welling come back as Superman too? I'd be more interested in seeing that. Oh, a Tenno Cobb book after Legacy with Elaine Cunningham. That'd be good. Oh, I'm sure Gordon Ramsay's not a nice guy. I'm very positive on that. But would I recommend the 2013 Dark Horse Star Wars comic book series? Even though it's a comic series. Oh, no, it's terrible. It's terrible. The Star Wars, no, it's terrible. It's not even canon. It's not even canon. It wasn't designed to be canon. And it's a horrible, horrible, horrible series. I would not get it. Would not get it at all. All right. So anyway, that I'm a little bit over an hour, but I got to go. Got to take care of the little baby girls. My wife's been taking care of them for now, but it's time for Daddy to jump on in and help them out. Everyone have a happy New Year. Happy 2020. Got a board game review tomorrow. Got More Civilized Age on Friday. Got Saturday Morning Sam Flange talking about my top 5 movies of 2019. And then if Brucey and I can ever record it, hopefully this weekend, we're going to talk about basically, he wants to talk about Rise of Skywalker. And I think I'm going to talk about, I read Bob Iger's autobiography and I want to give my thoughts on that. And then later on for Prince of the Universe, maybe a surprise guest. We'll see. Folks, it's been a lot of fun. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Happy New Year. Happy 2020, everyone. I'm excited. I'm going to go work out, buy some hot tea, go to sleep. Probably not because my girls will keep me up all day. But anyway, I'll see you later.